We've got Romain Grosjean, Augustine Canapino, Jack Harvey, Tony Kanaan before our lunch break here in Palm Springs. Continuing, though, with hard to believe now, you blink and all of a sudden this is season number 3 to start things off. Obviously back in the DHL colors with Andretti Autosport driving the number 28 Honda. Just your thoughts about getting started again back in the car tomorrow, and here we go for season number 3 for you.
Yeah, finally. It's been a long break. It's very unusual for me to get such a long time off from the racetrack since last September in Laguna Seca. So very much looking forward to get back in the car. I think I got lucky that I got unrusted with the Rolex 24 last week, but looking forward to get back in the car and see how much progress we've made over the winter.
Even though you're not in an IndyCar, I know you are piloting something, judging by social media. You want to care to explain what's going on with all that?
Yeah, I got bored of waiting at the airport, so I thought I was going to fly myself and do my pilot license. It's actually something I wanted to do for a long time. It was very complicated in Europe to do the pilot license, to go to the ground school twice a week, and with our life, it's impossible. So here in the States, I decided to tackle it, and I went through it pretty fast. So having a lot of fun with that. Went twice to St. Pete just to land on the start-finish line, and that was pretty cool. And the guy, the air traffic control was like, left on Eco 5, a turn, and then back via Alpha and I was like, oh yeah, that's the last corner of the racetrack. I'll take it. And I go back to the pit lane. I was like, oh yeah, that's true. So it's quite funny.
That's fantastic. Questions for Romain Grosjean? I think I've lost track of the mic. Yeah, Joy, you got one.
Just kind of thinking about the fact that, like, back in your Lotus years in Formula One, you worked with Benjamin Peterson's dad. Now you're over here watching him, and you watched him grow up in the paddock in Formula One. Fast forward now, and y'all are racing against each other, and he's a rookie this year. I mean, talk to me a little bit about just how special and how wild that is.
Yeah, it's really cool. So yes, I know Christian for a long time, 2012, 13. We had dinner in Paris with Christian. I saw him at the races, and then actually Benjamin asked me if he could use my helmet design for the last few years. In 2014, I think he copied my helmet design for his first helmet. He's just changed now. He's got to his own, but until that point, he was carrying the helmet design, different colors, but the same design, which I thought was super cool. So yes, I think he's a great kid. It's a great family. I've been following what he was doing. You know, when you see someone at first, like, yeah, my son wants to go to racing, like, okay, I mean, a lot of kids want to go to racing, but they pursue and they pushed hard, and I'm happy to see him in IndyCar. I think he did really well in Indy Lights or Indy Next, and I hope he's going to get a good season.
Romain, tell us a little bit more about the becoming a licensed pilot. You said it all happened pretty quick. Like, how many hours? How long was it? Was it just all in the off season? You just decided, hey, I'm going to do this, and a month later you're flying?
No, well, I wanted to do it since I'm 30 years old, so not that long ago, but some years ago. And then being with Alexander Rossi, he flew his plane to some races last year. I thought that was pretty cool. So okay, I'll look into it, and found a school where I could do all the theory online. So actually, I started doing the theory in Nashville. That's when I started getting the first book online, and since then I've done my private pilot license, my multi-engine license, my instrument flight rating license, and I've got 115 hours of flight time, I think. So commercial by the end of the year, so then I can take Roger. Roger can pay me to fly him around the races, if things go bad with racing.
So you planning to fly then on your own to most races this year?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, true. I'm flying to the race, and I drive my RV, then I fly back I flew to Daytona for the race. I'm definitely gonna fly to St. Pete, and yeah, pretty much everywhere I can. If the weather is good enough, I'll be flying.
I mean, it seems like what Jen was saying, like driving the motorhome. This is another example of like where moving to America seems to have opened up these opportunities, possibilities for you that you wouldn't have maybe gotten.
Yeah, I think America is very. There's one thing I told my kids, and I told my friend about America, and for me, that's the biggest difference between Europe and here. Here, everything is possible. If you have the wish, if you give yourself the possibility of doing it, everything is possible, right? It is different in Europe. I feel there's much more boundaries on the way, much more steps that you need to do in a certain order. But if you want to be extraordinary, if you want to do something different, you don't need to do those steps because you can, work through. So, yeah, I mean, I like doing things, and when I do them, I like doing them well. But here, I think just the opportunity of driving the RV, flying planes, for my kids to do whatever we want to do. We love that here. And yeah, it has been the best discovery for us.
And one more from me. The Andretti lineup going into 23 obviously is different with Alex leaving, and now you have Colton, who's 22 but has been there the longest. But obviously, you have a lot of experience, more probably experience than anybody on the team. Can you kind of just give us your perspective on how you think all that will work this season?
I think it's going to work well. I think we've got definitely a strong lineup again. With Kyle joining in, we know Kyle is a very fast driver, so it's going to be exciting to have him on board. We know what Colton is capable of. I think I've got some experience. I've got 1 year of experience with the team. We've worked hard during the winter, on my side, but also on team side. I think last year wasn't the year what we wanted. So everyone has been working really hard, and I'm excited. I think everyone that you're going to see today or you saw yesterday in the room is excited. Everyone thinks that he's got an amazing winter break and has done more work than the others. But I don't know. Time will tell. Track will tell us. But I feel like we've done some good steps.
We'll go Nathan and David. Go ahead, Nathan.
Another question on becoming a pilot. Just trying to get a perspective of the plane you're flying and what it can do. Like, would you be able to, from say Florida all the way out to Laguna Seca, or is that a little bit out of your realm of
right, yeah, Laguna I'm not gonna do it because it's a 1 weekend. I would need 3 fuel stop, but I'm coming to Portland with it, because then we go to Laguna and then I fly back. So Portland, it's a 2-day trip. It's about 10 hours on the first day with 1 fuel stop in the middle, sleep in Denver, and then fly over the Rockies the next day and get a beautiful view of the US.
How are you gonna fly Roger? This plane just goes straight.
I just need training. I need training, and I have got the high performance endorsement already. I've got complex.
Yes.
Well, I need to borrow Roger's plane and then fly it, but I need the training on that one.
I know you mentioned that Rossi's become a pilot. I think if I remember right, Ed Carpenter might be looking into it as well.
I think they share a plane.
Okay. What is it about being, I don't know if it's being up in the air that high, if it's just the thrill of that type of machinery when you're obviously someone that loves that and does that for your day job. What is it for you about being a pilot?
Freedom to go anywhere you want, anytime you want. It's the beauty of it. I took my wife for lunch in Key West last week, 37 minutes ago, 41 on the way back. And you're in Key West, as far as you can get in south of the US. We can go to the Bahamas for a day if we want to, anywhere. And I think it's just great to know that you can do whatever you want.
On the racing side, and you mentioned last season wasn't what you guys were wanting it to be from a team perspective, from your experience in your first year with Andretti. After you guys had an off season to go over things, diagnose, was there any one or a couple takeaways that you felt like led to just kind of a very up and down year for your introduction at Andretti?
I think we looked at everything. We, as I say, it wasn't one thing. It was a few things together that we could do better. So we've tried to tidy everything up. The team has done some great work. I've been doing my homework too on my side. So I'm optimistic. I think also for Olivier and myself, it'll be easier on a year 2 with the team. Olivier, has had the whole winter break to do his stuff. Whereas last year we came in and was like almost ready to go. So yeah, I'm excited about that. But what I'm excited about the most is that I am genuinely looking forward to jump back in an IndyCar, and that's a feeling that I like having, because that means that I still love more than anything. Well, I love my job a lot, and I want to go racing.
Wanted to ask about the Lamborghini experience at Daytona, and how many more GT races you're planning. this year, and how helpful is it to you for preparing for LMDH next year?
Well, Lamborghini is a lot of fun. I've enjoyed my time with the teammates in Daytona. The BOP wasn't in our favor, so we knew it was going to be tough. But I think we did a very good job at what we did, finishing fourth in the lead lap, being so far off the pace. So that was awesome. Endurance is something that I wanted to do for a long time. I think one of the most beautiful thing about the IndyCar Championship and IMSA endurance races is that they don't clash. So we get the chance to do both. So, I get the chance to be very selfish and drive IndyCar and just look after myself. And then I got the chance to share experience like 24 hours, which are very strong with teammates and team. So this year I've done Daytona, I'm going to do Sebring, probably Petit Le Mans. Okay. Next year, the program includes those races plus Le Mans 24. So I keep my fingers crossed that we get the weekend off from IndyCar. Yeah. I think it would make a lot of sense. How many of us was 16 or 12 IndyCar driver in Daytona? 10? Okay. None of the numbers. Okay. Oh yeah. So, 10, 11, 10 to 15, let's say, drivers doing both. And I think for both series, it's amazing. And if we can get Le Mans, it's also amazing because it's just cool. I remember Mario flying across the Atlantic doing Monaco and then Indy 500 and doing them, those guys that were racing in every race, Formula 3, Formula 2, Formula 1, they're doing the races in opening of the Formula 1 race. Yeah. And I think that's very cool for us. So yeah, looking forward to the project. There's going to be a lot of development coming on. By the time we finish the IndyCar season, the LMDH will be here in the States, and that's where I'm going to spend a lot of time on it.
So for next year, IndyCar will still be your priority and Lamborghini will just be the endurance races, yes?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Thank you.
Nate, did you have something? No, Bruce, sorry.
Although you have much more experience in racing and you're the, by age, oldest driver at Andretti Autosport, a lot of people look at Colton as the longest tenured driver there, and he's only 22. But when you look at him and see what he's been able to accomplish at such a young age, what do you think, and what do you think of the upside that Colton Herta has?
I think, we're all different. There are drivers that come very early in Formula 1. Look at Verstappen. He was racing 17, was world champion when he was 20. I don't know. I'm not good with numbers and age. But I think, it's very cool for Colton. He came, very early, decided that, I guess because of family history, US was going to be his sort of racing, and came very early. Youngest IndyCar winner, which is awesome. But yeah, as you say, he's got a lot of experience already. I think it depends generation. Some generation come very early, some others come a little bit later. There's no real rules in racing. It's not like you need to be a certain age to be at a certain place. So I think I like that, and for sure Colton is a great asset in the team, and I'm looking forward to do another season alongside him.
Try to sneak in one or two off of Zoom. We have just a couple minutes remaining with Romain Grosjean. Let's go to Tim Harani from TSN. Tim, go ahead with the Romain.
Hey, thanks very much, Dave. Appreciate it. Hi, Romain. Just a question about the 100 Days in May, the documentary series that's going to be leading up to the Indianapolis 500. Just want to get your thoughts on, what do you think it'll do for the series, and have they interviewed you yet or followed you around at all?
Hi there. I think it's an awesome news, and it's great that we've got the 100 Days to Indy going on. I think a lot of people will discover IndyCar and the behind the scene and what it is really. So I'm very excited about that. We haven't started shooting yet. We haven't started doing interviews. I believe it's coming. It's starting from this weekend. But yeah, I think we've all seen what some other series could do from some other sports. And I think we've got the right people doing it for us. So I'm excited to see what we can produce.
Thanks very much, Romain. Really appreciate it. Thanks, Dave.
Okay, let's go to Vincent Chardock from the VL Media. Vincent, go ahead with Romain.
Yes, hello everyone. My questions will be in French for Romain. Bonjour Romain. Félicitations déjà pour votre 4e place aux 24 heures de Daytona avec votre catégorie. J'aimerais savoir quelques mots en français sur vos impressions à l'issue de ce week-end complètement fou. On a vu évidemment la victoire de Simon Pagenaud. C'était vraiment la folie sur les réseaux sociaux. J'aimerais savoir, vous qui avez pas conduit en endurance depuis de nombreuses années, j'aimerais tout simplement vos impressions sur ce week-end et puis sur la voiture, sur la Lamborghini.
Non, super impression, très bonne ambiance sur tout le week-end. Très content de redécouvrir l'endurance et le partage avec les coéquipiers. Je crois que ça a été l'édition des 24 heures de Daytona la plus suivie, en tout cas avec le plus de spectateurs. Donc ça, c'était assez fantastique. La Lamborghini, on a fait un bon travail, voiture toute neuve. Alors la BOP n'était pas dans notre faveur. En revanche, la voiture était toute neuve. On a tenu les 24 heures sans problème. Donc une super base de travail pour le futur.
En tout cas, on était très contents sur les réseaux. Et puis, une dernière question. Cette fois-ci, c'est sur l'IndyCar. Les tests se déroulent demain, il me semble, au thermal. C'est votre 3e saison en IndyCar. Vous en avez déjà fait 2. Quels sont vos objectifs pour cette année, sachant que l'année dernière, c'était un peu très compliqué avec Andretti, les problèmes. Vous avez également eu des abandons malchanceux. Je rappelle, je suis désolé un peu de vous le rappeler, quand vous avez eu un accident à Nashville, c'était un petit peu malheureux. Quels sont vos objectifs pour cette saison et surtout quels sont les problèmes que vous allez régler, que vous voulez régler avec Andretti? Désolé pour ma question, c'était un petit peu confus.
Ouais, non, je pense qu'on a bien travaillé sur l'hiver, on a bien avancé, on s'est tous concentrés sur ce qu'on pouvait faire et comment on pouvait améliorer l'équipe, les pilotes, les stratégies, les pit stops. Donc, on a bien travaillé de ce côté-là. L'objectif pour la saison, c'est d'essayer de faire ce qu'on s'était dit qu'on voulait faire avec Andretti, c'est-à-dire de gagner les courses, d'être en position pour jouer le titre à la fin. Maintenant, pour arriver à ça, il faut qu'on ait un bon niveau de performance sur tous les types de circuits.
Eh bien, merci beaucoup, Romain, et puis bon courage pour cette saison.
De rien, merci.
Merci. That'll wrap things up for you. I wish I spoke more French. That's all I could do. Thank you so much, Romain Grosjean. Have a great content day. We'll see you.